Yo, what up everybody? I'm Dave Miranda and this is episode 31 of Just Give Me 5. I hope you guys are doing well, continuing to be great. We got a really awesome show lined up for you today. But if you guys caught episode 30, you saw we had the one and only Apollo on. Let me tell you, that guy is one of the coolest individuals I've ever known, man. You know, hands down. And when he was talking about the TED Talk situation, I thought that was great because it showed him, giving encouragement, his motivational speaking, and just inspiring and uplifting others, because that's really speaks to his character, because that's genuinely how he is off camera. So, it's not just for show, you know what I mean? So, nothing but love and respect to my brother Apollo, man. And make sure you guys watch episode 30. All right. But today's guest is a product of the Philadelphia area, but has been a major gem to the Phoenix community for almost 2 decades now. In 2017, the Phoenix New Times nominated him DJ of the Year, and he is a part of numerous organizations throughout the Valley. He's toured 5 different countries and is easily one of the greatest producers to ever exist. He also plays a valid role in the career of Mega Ran, and we're going to talk about that. This guy is a gem. We're very happy to have him on the show today. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you DJ DN3.
What up, y'all? It's DJ DN3. And all I'm saying is, just give me 5. When I first started DJing and producing, man, so we got to start with me being the DJ. I would say I started at 4 years old, nice. Actually. So I'm from a small city right outside of Philly called Chester. Shout out to Chester, Pennsylvania. I'm the youngest out of 7 brothers and sisters. So my big brother, Stevie, shout out to my big brother, Stevie. In high school, I would say when I was 4 years old, he was pretty much a house party DJ. He was a DJ. He had all of this old equipment and everything. And this is when hip hop was basically, it was just fresh on the scene. So I was attached at the hip with my big brother. And I mean, everywhere he went, all house parties he did, or whatever, skating rinks, Salvation Army parties and all like that, I was always there with this guy, man. I want to be him, so, and he would DJ these parties, and I would just catch on. I knew how to DJ just by watching him, like before I knew my ABCs, my alphabets. Anytime he would be at school or whatever, he'd lock his equipment up, I would break in to, like, I guess wherever he had his equipment, bust it out, speakers. I knew pretty much reverse engineering everything. Knew how to just knew where everything was plugged in, mixer, turntables, and everything like that. So we would have just little small house parties at the crib. My mom, she would invite a lot of people over, friends, family, cousins, and all like that, uncles and aunts and stuff. So I'm always playing records. I'm my brothers and sisters had a nice record collection. I'm over here, I'm very attached to records like Parliament Funkadelic, Flashlight, Slave Firecracker, all of that. Whenever I hear that stuff, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So my sister, my big sister, shout out to Donna, she had actually bought my first 3 records that started my record collection. Those 3 records was Kumo D's How You Like Me Now, the one with the Jeep, and it had LL's Kango right underneath of the Jeep. I didn't know what was going on at that time, right? Spoonie G, okay. Godfather of Rap, and if you remember a joint called Pump It Up by Mars, Pump Up the Volume, yeah. Those are my first 3 records, right? And shout out to my sister for buying me those records. That started my record collection, like that. So what happened after that was my brother, he's graduated from high school, and my mother, she was just like, hey, what are you gonna do with your life? You either going to school or you gonna go into the military. You know, you're going to get the hell out of here. So my mom, like, this is just like all on the whim. I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to be with my brother. I'm going to do this DJ thing with him forever, you know. Next thing you know, my mom takes my brother to the recruiting office, the naval recruiting office in Philly. Next thing I know, my brother wasn't around anymore. He was off and gone. The DJ equipment, all of that disappeared. I don't know if he sold it or not and all like that. I actually went into a deep depression. You know, I'm 5, 6 years old, and I'm just like, man, you know, like, my creative outlet was like, whatever, it was just video games, because Atari 2600, that was my outlet. So my mom and dad, they actually got mad. Like, they didn't get mad, they got concerned, because I didn't want to, like, just like be a regular kid, go outside, play with my friends and everything like that. I would rather like just be a recluse and stay home with my video games and all. So my mother actually took me to see a shrink, like, really, because I would make these noises, and actually in my head, I was emulating beats. So they're thinking that, you know, these like now remember, hip hop is new on the scene. Video games are new on the scene. Parents just don't understand. You know, shout out to Jazzy Jeff, Fresh. Right, so they're thinking like, yo, this boy ain't right. So they're going to take me to see a shrink. And because I'm making, like, you know, like, I knew from an early age that that's what I wanted to do. Like, just create these beats and stuff. So I would have them in my head. Never had an outlet to actually get it out. So they're thinking it's all about the video game. Yo, he's like, you know, thinking he's a video game character and all. So they took me to see this shrink. And, you know, all of that passed over and all. I haven't touched a turntable or anything like that for, like, I would just say right up until after I graduated from college. Because, like, going through school and stuff and all like that, my mom, you know, pops, they wasn't, like, you know, giving me the money to buy any, like, equipment so I can actually do my thing. So then it was just all about video games and all. So that's pretty much how I started. Like, that was the foundation of me starting to DJ. And then, you know, after that, you know, that's the next segment. Producing. Okay, so, man, okay, so after I graduated from college, I was a track athlete, got a full ride, and I did that whole thing, so it was time for me to just get out to the real world, you know, so I'm out there trying to find a job in my field. And I had a hard time doing that. So I've worked a lot of, like, temp jobs and everything. And I actually met a brother by the name of John Bang Bang Simmons, right after I graduated. And he was pretty much in the same boat as well, you know. And we worked this temp job, you know, at this mortgage company right outside of Philadelphia. So, yeah, me and John got really cool. We got really cool. Got close to stuff. We talked a lot about music, man. He was into the music just like I was. Big hip-hop fan, big Wu-Tang fan and everything and all. So he said, Mel, one day he said, Mel, yo, I think you should just come with me one day, you know what I mean? I'm going to take you to the studio or whatever and all like that. You got to meet my man, Dane, man, my man. He just kept telling me about this cat named Dane and all. I was like, cool, y'all got a studio, word. Okay, let's do this. And this is the year, I want to say the year 98, 99. So I followed him all the way down to North Philly. Slummy house, man. It was bad. It was like deep in the hood, like North Philly. So, you know, I go in this house, I'm like, damn, am I going to make it out alive? Right. You know what I mean? It's some parts of this house where the floors are missing and everything. I'm just like, man, it's like holes in the floor. Like, it was just crazy in there, you know what I mean? Like, people was actually living in there, so he took me up to the 3rd floor, right? So 3rd floor, he takes me to this room, and the room, all it is in there is a microphone, a computer, and a keyboard. I was like, okay, you know. He was like, yo, you gotta check out this new software. And back then, it was just all about hardware, man. Like, cats, we didn't have, like, money like that for, like, MPC 2000s or SP 1200s. And, you know, I never even touched like anything like that. So he just showed me this whole thing, and it was called Hammerhead, right? Hammerhead came out before Fruity Loops. Now, Fruity Loops, like this is all software. So Fruity Loops, which was made famous by Ninth Wonder, right, Little Brother and all like that. So Hammerhead was like actually like was the same thing, but it was very scaled down. So he was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this Hammerhead thing, you know, take it home, practice this thing. So I met the brother Dane. So it was 3 of us. So we formed a company called Third Floor Productions. So all we did was just basically we just like started doing these beats, and like our beats, all 3 of us, our beats just got better and better. We said, hey, why don't we start producing for these young cats in the neighborhood, these like local cats. So that's what we did. So we did that for a while and all. You know, life got in the way. Right. You know, cats went their separate ways and all like that and all. So, and I remember it was this one day I found out that my boy Dane, God rest his soul, got shot and killed. And I was like, man, that's so crazy, that's so crazy. By that time, I mean, I took a lot from John and my man Dane, and then put it pretty much into like, you know, whatever I learned from doing software production. And then right after that, I would say it was around like 2000, I think it was the year 2000, Little Brother came out with The Listener. Yep. And I was like, man, this thing is so crazy. This is like, and he only did this on Fruity Loops? Yeah. I mean, I was like, man, I mean, we got to do something, you know, so right. Pretty much it was like that. So, you know, I just kept doing like my thing, and I just had a lot of like local cats that I worked with and all. And this is before I met Miranda, you know, so, and pretty much, I mean, that's how I got started with that. Three is my favorite number. We all know that, you know, everything goes in threes. I think so, you know, so I mean, that's the way I feel. I'm a big fan of like Egyptology and all, so I used to read up on a lot of like Egypt, like pyramids and, you know, and the dynasties and all like that. So I just took together, I was like, man, you know, dynasty, you know, people used to call me like Dynasty back in, you know, high school and stuff like that. So yeah. I was like, all right, you know, Dynasty 3, let's run with that, you know. Right. It wasn't until I met a brother by the name of Oheni Savant. Yeah. And so I kept like shortening it up, like, hey, I'm gonna just go with DN3, like stands for like Dynasty 3 or whatever like that. So he actually told me, he was the one that told me, he was like, hey, when you say DN3, make that 3 a small 3, like a superscript and all, like, you know, I was like cubed. Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool. So anytime I do that, like when it's written, I make sure I have everything on superscript. Now, if you can't do superscript, it's okay, you know what I'm saying? Right. But, you know, as long as the checks go to Melvin Raymond, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Let's be clear. Yeah, be clear about that. So pretty much that's how DN3 came up, or Dynasty 3, whatever. That brother, that cat, man, woo, we go way back. Okay, yeah. So, all right, I told you about how I met the brother Oheni Savant, all right? So I believe, I don't know, I guess this is a spiritual thing too. Like, I was so close with my brother Dane, the Black Asian, and I believe, like, everybody in this business, we all have to take a loss. We lose people along the way and all, and we just have like a point of reference that makes us stronger and all. And spiritually, you know, I think when I met these brothers, Oheni Savant, and I met Miranda through Oheni Savant, and it was through a group called Ram Nation. It was like a little local collective that we came out with. Oheni Savant was actually teaching a hip-hop course at Temple University. All right, and it's so cool because I think we should have more of that here. Somebody need to start that at the ASU, maybe, you know, or something like that, like where local people could come in and just discuss like hip-hop history and everything that makes it. That's what Oheni Savant was doing. So we worked on a lot of music together. We did our first like I guess a real album or so. So, and it was cool. Everybody in Philly, like, it got like a lot of good critical acclaim. You know, he said, "Yo, I want you to meet this brother named Random." You know, so he brought this, you know, cat to the to one of the classes one day, and you know, cool, laid back, reserved, and all like that. So he, you know, this brother, he handed me a card, and it said Mihar Productions, which was Raheem spelled backwards. So I said, okay, cool. So he does beats too and all like that. So, and then from there, we just started like, you know, just like switching musical ideas back and forth, like beats and stuff. He would give me beats too. You know, a lot of people don't know that Rand, you know, sometimes he could be a beast on the production as well. Oh, yeah. You know, so I was like, okay, man, like the boy rhymes too. So he was dope because, like, you know, everybody that was rhyming with O'Henny, you know, all our collective, I mean, we were just all about like, yo, let's freestyle, let's just like, you know, get our bar game up and all. Even had me rhyming a couple of times. Yeah, man, so, you know, but we're not going to talk about that, right? so, you know, so Rand, he was like, okay, I'm working on this album, you know, I want to come and record with you. I was like, cool, yeah, let's record, let's do this. So he would come through, and we did the first version of his first album, The Call, in my one of my rooms at the place I was staying back in. This is back home in Philly. So what happened was, long story short, my hard drive full of everything, all the data that we recorded and all, crashed. Like just. And I'm like, man, this is some good stuff, man. I actually wanted to quit music. Like, I was just like, you know, devastated. Right, exactly. Man, because I was like, I had a lot of beats and stuff in there that I'm never going to get back. So he was the one that was like, yo, no, you're not quitting. You know, let's go in and let's record more tracks. So that's what we did. We did about like maybe 20 more joints and all. So he started sending me links to this dude. His name was YT Cracker, right? Yeah. So nerdy, like white rapper or whatever like that was making these beats off of Nintendo, like making like just flipping Nintendo type of joints and all. And I've never heard anything like it, you know. So I'm like, he sent me the stuff, and I'm like, yo, the music it's cool. It's a great idea, but you know, this Whitey Cracker rapping. So I was like, I'm like, you know, So I'm saying, yo, we could do this better. You know, we could do this like, yo, man, we should do. So that's when he came to me about the idea of Mega Ran. Gotcha. So I was like, okay, and that was as a side project too. It was supposed to be just something out of fun and everything like that. I was like, cool. So he was like, yo, you think you could flip these Mega Man? Because like growing up, like playing these video games and stuff like half of it is the musical background, you know. Like everybody knows, like how iconic like the Super Mario Brothers song is and stuff. So like just the idea was just to be creative within the realms of hip hop, and then try to put some like bars on it, you know. And that's what we did. And I guess the rest is history, you know. Here we are. Cool memory. The night Common had played at the Marquee. He said, oh boy. Yeah, man. That was a dope show because, okay, so Common, he was going to be headlining at the Marquee, right? And of course, like everybody in the Valley was just going to be there. Everybody's excited. Like this is when Common was like on the top of his game, man. He was just rocking, you know, he had the light out and everything for years and all like that. So, and the cool thing about Common was basically like a lot of cats, you know, like these promoters, they don't care who opens up for, you know, whoever the headliner is. They don't, you know, they just like put these people can sell all these tickets and whatever like that. So Common basically wasn't like that. Common was like, yo, anybody opening for me, I need to hear their music. I need to know that they're dope and all, because I don't want the whole like vibe of the show messed up or all like that. So I think that was really cool. So Ra hit me up one day. He was like, hey man, I think we got this opener for Common. So I was like, word, you know, let's do it. So it was a good night, man. It was a good night. I think like we were the first act. You know, everybody was there and all like that. And just by being at all these shows, knowing that, you know, the openers, people aren't there to see the openers. You know, like people would like either just like, you know, whatever, it's crickets or they're booing, you know, the opening act. So I was totally prepared for that because nobody like pretty much knew us. So I came out on the stage. I was there with my turntables. This is before Rod came out and all like that. So, and I just said something to the effect, I was so nervous. I had to take a couple of shots or whatever. Oh, shout out to the homegirl Empress, because she was on the opener too. Yeah. This cat by the name of Mr. Miranda was there, Sulai. You know what I mean? I don't know what, I had to take a shot or whatever just to calm my nerves or whatever. So I said to the crowd, I got on the mic, I was like, it's on, it's on. I said, Tempe, Arizona, make some noise or something like that. Everybody was like, ah! I was like, oh shit, this is real. Yeah. This is real. So
it was packed.
It was packed, man. Like wall to wall, it was packed and all. So, you know, we did our intro, we came out, man, and we pretty much rocked it. You know, everybody was just like, yo, that was a dope. And, you know, of course, you know, everybody came out and did their thing. You know, Common came out, shut it down. It was one of the most memorable nights of my life as far as, you know, doing a show for Mega Ran. You know, they say that you have to be very careful when you meet your heroes, if you have the chance, because it could end up being a bad experience and all. But I would have to say that, you know, I was blessed in the sense that I met some mega heroes, great influences on me as a person and me as an artist. Okay, so Digital Underground, they had a free show downtown. It was like right in the downtown plaza and everything was lit. It was all festive and all like that. So, you know, me and my boys, man, we wanted to mob out. I believe it was me, Mega, cat by the name of Mr. Miranda. I think Rob was there. Shout out to Madness. Rob was going by
Purple Madness.
Purple Madness, yep. Yeah. I don't know, I think that was it. So yeah, so we went downtown, we saw the show. They had the outdoor setup, like you know, it was cool. So Digital Underground, they're playing, they ripped it. You know, Shock G, man, the dude, he such a genius. I never saw Digital Underground live. And I, you know, was totally glad I got that experience. So had a great time. It was a part in the show where he started inviting a lot of people on stage, like, you know, girls and stuff and all. And then, so they had pointed out to me, they was like, hey, come up on stage. I was like, word, okay, cool, I'm gonna get up on stage. You only live once, right?
Right.
So I'm up on stage, man. I'm like, you know, and the whole, they are kicking it. You know, they killing it, man. Like, you know, Shock is playing and everything. Like, I don't know what they were doing, same song or whatever, one of the hits and all. So I'm just like, you know, I had a little cutie dancing with her on stage and all like that. It was a great night, you know. And then I was just thinking to myself, like, dang, this is how Tupac started, like dancing on stage, you know what I mean, like that. Yep. So it was really cool. So he did the show, and then we had a chance to actually like talk to him, like the Shock. If anybody knows Shock G, like you would know that you never heard of any type of beef that dude went through, man. He was just so interpersonal with his fans and everything. Like he was, or even like people that he deals with. Like everybody said that dude was just so straight, man. He was just cool. You never heard of anything like that. And I got to see that night. You know, he was just like, but the dude, I mean, he was zooted out of his mind. I'll say that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? But it was so crazy because he was like just giving us like, you know, just dropping jewels on us, like, yeah, this and everything. And we got a chance to talk to that brother, man. And like Shock G's production, like I think it was like severely underrated, like because we're talking about pre-DJ Quick, so like that whole funk West Coast sound and all like that. Shock was you know, in the hip hop sense, Shock was a pioneer of that, and a lot of that rubbed off on me with that. So that was a cool night, man. And rest in peace to Shock G. Love that dude. Word. Another hero. Okay, this is another hero of mine. It was think it was my second year of college. All right, yeah, second year of college. All right, and I just went through a bad breakup with my longtime girlfriend, like from high school, my high school sweetheart, and all. So it was just like I was kind of down in the dumps and all, and it was like a little like in Philly you had we had these spring fling college break like concert series and all. So I had another friend, and she was just like, "Yo, the Far Side is going to be playing at University of Penn." So I said, "Word," at that time I was a big Far Side fan. Bizarre Ride to the Far Side, right. One of my favorite albums ever, and that was in part to, like, because those dudes was zany, very creative, the beats and everything. Their producer, I loved their producer, a cat by the name of Jay Swift. So this was about, I think it was 90, that album came out in 93. And around that time, the whole industry started to like focus on dope producers. So Jay Swift was a part of that. He did Passing Me By. Everything that came from that first album to me was just basically a single and all. So, and then I was kind of bummed out when I heard that Jay Swift was kicked out, not of the group, but like just banned from being their producer because he had a bad drug problem. He was a bad addict. And there's like this like crazy, there's a crazy documentary on him. It's called One More Hit. So if you guys can find that, definitely check this out. Because the reason why I brought up Jay Swift, because I really do think that Jay Swift was a precursor to the brother Jay Dilla. So this is what, what this story leads up to. So we go to see this concert, and they tore it down. Now, this is when Lab Cat in California came out, their like second CD, and it was dope. Loved it. I thought, hey, this is a good follow-up from the first album. And I knew a brother by the name of JD had did some of the production. He produced half of the album on there. I was like, yo, I like this cat, whatever, right? But, at that time, I didn't know that he was just going to be a deity, like to anybody, So he was their tour DJ. So after the show, it was crazy because somehow, I forget how I did it, I actually snuck backstage, like through the barricades, like right past security guards and all like that. I said, yo, man, I'm going to meet these cats. And that's what happened. So the brother Imani, like one of the rappers from the Far Side, and this is when I'm into the Far Side, like those four dudes and all like that. So JD, he, as a tour DJ, he was just a tour DJ. So Imani, like I came up to him, I said, yo, man, I'm a big fan and all. So this dude was so cool. He was like, yo, man, I got this little brother here. Like he was hugging me and all like that and all. And we chopped it up for a long while. He was like, yo, man, you want to go back and smoke and all like that? I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't. So he introduced me to everybody. And then I met this like little, like, he was like very short, like very like small. He's like, yo, this is our DJ, JD. And then I shook his hand. I said, hey, man, like, good job on, on the production and stuff. So, right. And he was so soft-spoken and all like that. I never thought that later on in life that this dude was just going to be it for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I guess the moral to that lesson is, man, you really cannot sleep on anybody. I guess years later, that's when he started to come into his own. And I started to hear the Slum Village stuff and all. And then when he came across, I came across the Slum Village stuff, and I was like, yo, this can't be the same dude that was doing, this is so different. Right. So it just made me look at, music differently, his whole production and everything. And I was like, yo, this dude is it. And I kept telling my peoples about it. I was like, yo, watch, this dude is it. Rest in peace to him. God rest his soul. The thing that was so significant about Jay Dilla is, he changed the way a lot of traditional musicians play instruments. You never hear that from a hip-hop dude. You change the way that I play my instruments and all like that. So, shout out to Jay Dilla. and his legacy. Last hero. All right, so it was a night, one of my boys had a birthday, so we was like, hey, why don't we go celebrate? We're gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory, right? And celebrate, eat dinner and all. And this was in the Biltmore. So I was like, man, okay, cool, let's do that. Cheesecake Factory, that was when it was banging back then, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The menu was like a book, got 45 pages. Yeah. So, right. So yeah, it was this my same cast of characters and all like that. You know, I think it was that cat Speak Green was with us, man. That dude. So we sitting at the table like we're eating our food and all. We having a good time, busting it up and all like that. So all of a sudden, right behind our table, we just see this entourage of people just walking by. And I think it was Speak Green. He was like, wait a second. I think that was Muhammad Ali. I was like, word?
He said that's the champ.
That's the champ. He said the champ walked by, right? Yeah. So we, in the middle of eating our food, like, you know, like the middle of like forks in our mouths and stuff, we just looked at each other, was like, dropped our forks and spoons and stuff, jumped up and went after this dude. Left our food right there to get cold on the plates, right? So we followed them outside, right? And then we were like, yo, what's up? Champ. And Muhammad, I guess it was like his daughter was there. I don't know if it was Layla Ali or one of his daughters. It was the other daughter and all like that. And he had like the other people. They were waiting for their van to come because I think they had a valet and stuff like that. And then, like, he was just so cool, man. Like Muhammad Ali, like as far as like human, like people, like on this earth that ever graced this planet and all like that. I mean, like he definitely was like one of the like the best like influences on me, man. My dad was a big boxing fan, and he would just play these like Muhammad Ali fights and all. Like he loved boxing, watching boxing, and that dude was just it. And all. So he shook all of our hands and stuff. Like back then, we didn't have like the iPhones or the Androids and stuff. So it was just hard to find like, you know, the camera function on our phones. Yeah. So yeah, I'm fumbling. And I'm like, man. And then at that time, his daughter was like, no, he has to go. He basically was down. He wanted to take a picture with us. He made sure he shook all our hands and stuff. I was like, man. That was probably like the most memorable night I ever had since I moved to Arizona. So, man, Muhammad Ali. Loved it. Man, feels really good. Feels really good, man. Like, there's nothing like the love of what you have for yourself, but it feels really good to like know that people are definitely watching. And I mean, although you do, you know, you're gonna have your haters and everything like that, but like just people that you know that like have your back and just want to see you succeed and all like that. There's nothing like that, you know. And that love is reciprocated too. You know what I mean? So I definitely, you know, am thankful for that, you know. And I mean, I'm thankful just to be here, just to be asked that, because I know a lot of special people sat in this chair before, you know, so I appreciate all of that. Shout outs. All right, yeah, shout outs. I mean, first I want to shout out to my brothers and sisters, you know, for starting me out on this path and all. My mom and pops, you know, rest in peace to my pops and all. Good dude. Shout out to my brother Kareem Idris. You know what I mean? He was a good spiritual advisor to me and all like that. You know, real dope on the music too. Work with that brother and all. Say what's up to Radio Super. You know, TJ, Super Hype, Lisa Arenas. What's up with y'all? Want to shout out my brother Ken Khan, you know, and the rest of the underground funk band that I played with. Good brothers, man. Dope brothers on the instruments and stuff and all like that. Yeah, man. Let me just shout out Elegant Entertainment, Rock You Entertainment. Shout out to my brother Hexagon. All these beats y'all here in between these segments, fire. You know what I mean? Fire. Man, shout out to Jimmy Nelson, man. That brother's a beast too on the beats. He won't say a lot right now, but you know what I mean? Yeah, y'all just trust, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And shout out to Mr. Miranda for having me. You know what I mean? And I guess I'm out.
And there you have it. Nothing but love and respect to my brother DN3, man. This shit was fun, man, because, you know, I was in a lot of those stories. So this really took me back, man. I was just sitting there geeking, you know what I mean? But, man, nothing but love and respect to my brother DN3, you know. Make sure you guys are following him on social media. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson on that camera. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got the website in the works also too, so stay tuned. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was another great one for the books. And remember, man, tough times don't last, tough people do. Continue to be tough, everybody. Till next time, stay tuned, stay blessed, stay healthy, and just give me 5, y'all.